I'm fascinated by like how you all have gotten the business to this. I mean,
I'm fascinated too,
how
truthfully.
many years, when did you start?
9 years ago,
Yeah,
right? 2015.
Wow.
And it really, I mean, you can attest to this. It feels like you blinked and all of a sudden everything looks different.
What did you have though is like I spent a lot of time online looking at different businesses. I've never found a YouTube channel for, prepared meal company growth. So, how did you figure out that?
We winged it.
Oh, yeah. It's
Trial and
Trial and
error.
error.
Lots of hard work.
Was there a mentor that was like, or was there a different company that you could find like in a different part of the country? Or was like, hey, can you help me with?
Nope.
No.
My father was a small business owner my whole life, so I had the grit to do it. And it just came naturally to me, honestly. I was always taught you work hard, put your head down, and keep working hard, and something will become of it. I mean, I can't work any other way. I love to cook. I told my father, I want to be a chef when I grow up. And he said, you'll end up working at Burger King. You'll never make any money doing that. So the family joke every Thanksgiving was, hey, Dad, made a couple bucks making food. It's definitely not a restaurant chef, but, I came up with all the original recipes that some of them are still on the menu, actually. The European pasta, the cheeseburger pasta. Are like OG ones that were with us since day one. A lot of them we've revamped or phased out for new stuff because, products change, trends change. Pesto is really in right now.
Is it?
I feel like you should know this.
I know.
We'll look at our national competitors, and this one meal prep service has pesto on everything. It's like, what are you guys just slathering everything in pesto? I don't understand. But I think we missed that trend if you don't know anything about it.
We were talking earlier, like the difference in like Buffalo, Rochester, like down 90. The differences, and I was asking like if smoothies had hit in Buffalo 3-4 years ago, because my mentality has always been like the trends hitting like for food, at least in America, hitting like New York City, Los Angeles, obviously like major cities, but the coasts first. And in New York State, like what's popular in New York City will be popular in Buffalo in 2 years, will be popular in Rochester in like 3 years, and will be popular in Syracuse in like 8 years. So that's just like the way that the food trends. I opened up a restaurant 2 years ago that was just fried chicken sandwiches. We had 5 fried chicken sandwiches on the menu. And when I opened it, people on Facebook in Syracuse were like, this is the trend that's sweeping the country. I was like, it's been around for quite a while. This actually isn't the trend. So when it comes to pesto, I'm not sure. But I feel like large companies, though, they just like they say what the trend is,
True.
That's what you used to always say. I'm gonna tell the customer what they want.
Well, I mean, that's how it was when we started. Like meal prep wasn't a thing. It actually, we came up with the idea because I used to make his food every day and that he'd take to work. Someone's like, I'd pay for that. So he came home one day. It's like, they said they'd pay for that. Why don't you, try it? And at the time, I cook everything for our family. I mean, it's changed now with the business and little ones, but I would cook breakfast, lunch, dinner 7 days a week because I love to cook. I still love to cook, even though we have a kitchen that I'm hands-on in a couple times a week. I still love to cook. And I said, nobody's going to buy this. Everyone cooks for their family. Well, turns out not a lot of people have the time or the knowledge to cook. So it's done well, for sure, even in a city of chicken wings and beer.
What's the name? Why 95 Nutrition?
Oh, we've argued for a week straight at the kitchen counter. Like, how are we going to start a business if we don't even have a name for it? We went through all sorts of names and, typical meal prep services use like food or fit or fuel or health. And we were like, no, we want to be bigger than just meal prep. We have a supplement line now. So it's worked out. We always thought in a bigger aspect, but he came up with it because, go ahead.
Because when people think about weight loss, the first thing they think about is going to the gym and working out.
New Year's resolution. What's your first thing? I'm going to go get a gym membership, right?
And that's only, the people spend the most amount of time in the gym, hour and a half a day. That's only 5% of your day. If you ignore the other 95%, you're going to ruin what you do in that 5% and said, well, let's focus on the 95 nutrition. So I said that to her and she's like, all right, that's the name.
That's awesome.
So the 95% of your life is what's most important to your health and wellness journey. How you eat, how you sleep, the way you treat your body. And people so quickly turn to the gym and fail at it because it's hard.
It is.
It's hard to feel sore and to show up. And 80% of our customers don't even work out. They'll maybe go for a walk. We encourage it, but if it doesn't fit into your lifestyle right now, that's fine. You can lose weight by controlling the portion of your food.
Or maintain.
Correct.
Without going to the gym, because like I said, it's stopping that leak. If you got a leak and you keep gaining weight, you got to stop the gaining weight first before you worry about losing weight.
That's interesting.
So we started in Grand Island. That's where we're from. Where I'm from. He's from North Tonawanda, but we were living on Grand Island at the time because I won that battle. I'm never moving there. The bridges. And got him to move there. And we opened up a little shop on Grand Island, and we were getting people that were driving from East Aurora and Hamburg just to get our stuff. Wow. And that's when he came out. He's like, why don't we expand? I'm like, that sounds scary. We're doing really well in this one facility. Right. And here we are in Rochester. So we've done quite the expansion.
That was scary. Because, everyone was telling us why. Even your dad was saying, don't mess with it. It's a good thing. My father was a very old school small business owner. No debt, do with what you have, be proud of, the sales that you're doing. And I've always been like we can expand this. More people need this service. And it is really rewarding to reach more communities. And that's how we ended up in Rochester. Is so many people were hitting up our Williamsville location from Rochester. They were driving all the way down the 90 just to come see us. And that's why we jumped into the Rochester market. So thank you to those customers who were making the trek, or we would have never thought to hop cities.
My brother, who's a federal agent in Cincinnati, was asking me about it, and I was like, there's got to be companies around you that do.
Oh, we ship national.
You do ship national, and that's he was like, yeah, but I went on their website. I was like, yeah, but I was like, why? He's like, what you've posted looks good. I'm on their website. Everything looks good. I'm looking at the information, And so that's what attracted him to it, and it is, I think I've just always kind of dismissed the business, but it is like there's got to be a ton of them, and maybe there are that I don't know of, but talking to people, there really aren't.
Still a very new industry, and nobody does it like we do it.
Right, and that's the other thing is like you're right. You're not. It doesn't feel like you have to. If you're somebody who's not like myself, you don't feel like I need to convert. I need.
A lot of the services are chicken, rice, broccoli, chicken, potato, beans, and it's like that feels like you're needing to convert. And so many people come through our doors, and it can be a vulnerable moment. You might feel overweight, you might feel out of place, and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, why didn't I come here sooner?" Right. Because it's such a inviting space. Yeah. Whereas certain, like there's meal prep services in other states that we've seen that are inside of a gym. And I'm like, why would you do that? That's like the most intimidating thing you could ever do to someone who's overweight is put them around a bunch of fit people. Right. And you shouldn't feel that way, but I get why people feel that way. So I think a lot of people who are on an unhealthy path are taken back by just how easy it is to get in and get started with us.
That's interesting. All right, so I know you're pressed for time. I want to ask this question though: what challenges with the business, or how's your mentality changed from when you were doing it out of your home to here in this facility? Have they changed, or the same, just larger?
I mean, it's growth. It's learning. I mean, I don't think we think at all like we used to think when we were small. I mean, the premise for the business is the same. The concept is the same. The way we care for our customers is the same, but our knowledge of business is way greater.
And add in the aspect of having employees. When we first started, it was just me in the church kitchen cooking for 40 customers. The customers would come to our home to pick up the food because I had no storage at the church we were preparing the food out of. And now the customer-facing employees are the ones that we're training up to teach them not only how to be good humans. I found that with Gen Z is they need a little push, like, hey, I need you to be off of your cell phone because it's polite. Right. To a customer, whereas they might not be getting those lessons. It's their first job. They don't know any better. So I think a lot of things that have changed is having 75 employees, caring for them, making sure their needs are met, giving them good benefits. So before it was just like, hey, I need to provide a good product and make sure that I take good care of my customers. That's easy. Add in employees, and it's just a whole nother aspect of your business that's
Right.
just as important as any of those others, because I can't personally touch every customer and say, hey, how are you doing? I need to trust that the 13 employees, 14 employees out there in the locations on the daily are doing that for me. I need to trust that my staff is preparing a meal that I would have prepared myself. And so it is a lot of weight as owners when your name's on the place and you're trusting 75 other people to perform. But we've done an excellent job, I feel, of, I mean, he's the people guy.
Nah, I'm more the numbers guy. And
No, but you always have the most compassion.
oh, I have the most conversation.
Yes.
Like
If an employee makes eye contact with him, they're done.
Yeah.
They're talking about rappers or what's going on in their life, and
or I'm giving life lessons and advice. I want to know what they're interested in. I want to know where they're going to school. Yeah, that's having employees also makes the decisions that you make for the company a lot larger too.
Yeah.
Because you have employees especially here in the kitchen. I feel like our kitchen staff,
they're like our family.
And our management staff here is family. Like they want to be here forever. So you have to make sound decisions to make sure that the business is here forever. So I think that's part of that growing process. Is we made mistakes, we made some errors, and that we've learned from, but every business is going to make mistakes, and it's how you learn from them and not making the same mistake twice is how you grow. And not letting those mistakes lead you to fear. Like, well, now I don't want to do this because last time I did this, I got burned. Yeah. So let me stay away from.
Well, not speaking on vague topics, we've never even discussed this. We tried to introduce AI robots into our facility.
Oh, okay.
You would have thought it was really cool. However, it just didn't. The technology's too soon.
Yeah.
So it would pick up the food and robot over and put it in the container on our assembly line, and it just sounded so good.
Yeah.
For our facility, hey, we can be more efficient in the robot was supposed to pick up the exact weight, which is very important when you're talking portion control and calories. Our humans are great. Yeah. They do a phenomenal job, but we're like, how much better could a robot weigh something? Well, it turns out the whole thing was a disaster, to say the least. Wow. And we booted the robots out, and it wasn't a great venture. Lost a lot of money implementing that. We were so proud of it. We released it on our social media, and then it was like, okay, this is not going great, guys. Wow. So our staff was like, and we said, we try and accommodate our staff the best we can. They're like, we can't work with these things anymore. Like, get rid of them. We can do it better. And they showed us. So it actually made our staff more efficient. That's like the silver lining is we didn't realize just how fast and efficient our staff could be to keep those prices low until we introduced these robots, and they were like, please get rid of them. And I said, okay, well, you got to keep this pace. And they did. So that was a huge, one of our top 5 business
when the company
mistakes.
we signed this contract with said, there's no way that your humans are more efficient than the robots. They're looking at the data that the robots are putting out, and we have our own data of what our humans were doing before we brought the robots in, and it's not even close. Wow. So we presented them with that data and said, look, here's this contract. You said that this would be faster than our human employees, and it's not. You said they would be more accurate than our human employees, and they're not. And they saw it as a challenge. They were like, yeah, we can do better than those. And they destroyed it. They destroyed the robots.
So future technology is there. It's just not there yet.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, in hindsight, the only way that's is if you were working them 24 hours. Right. Yeah. That's where you would get the advantage.
That's our long answer to your question, is that, there's a lot that's different. There's a lot that's the same, but having your work family, our employees, is the biggest change between being just Lindsey in a kitchen cooking for 40 people versus this. I mean, obviously the size of the building is massive, but we hope to grow into it more for sure.
Yeah, and the growth mindset can't change, can't go away.
Yeah.
Because you always have to be looking for, okay, well, we explored this avenue for growth. How can we grow this part of our business? And it's just constant learning. And because like we said earlier, we didn't have any mentors. We're not copying any other service. I did research last year and found that there's only one other service that has as many retail locations as we have.
Wow.
And they're in Florida. So, we're setting precedents here. And I don't know how much more we can learn moving forward. It just like, I don't know. This is where I get. This is probably not for the podcast, but this is where I get in my head because we're at a point where we're at uncharted territory, and it's like I don't know where the next steps are. So how do you take it to the next level? And that's what it's been the entire time, and it feels like we're don't have the answers, but we've been here before where we didn't feel like we had the answers, and we found them. So it's just a matter of just keep doing what you do until you find the right answer.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. That was great.
I'm so happy that you're on the right path to balance in your life, and anything we can do to help, please never hesitate to ask.
Awesome. Thank you.